Okay, it's been 6 weeks, 5 days since my revision surgery. And if you can hear my voice, I'm just getting over from being sick the last week. So, yeah. So, how everything's healing. It's healing really good. The color separation from in between everything, from the dark to the pinkish color, is normal, which I'm so happy about that. And since all the swelling's gone down, the separation of the fat between the labia minora and the labia majora, the separation, it's more noticeable on the left side than the right side, which it doesn't really bother me that much. And my labia minora is staying lifted. It's like more so when everything's closed, but when everything's like open, it's more like lifted than what it was before, but it's still where I'm happy with it. And it's a lot more like the labia majora, the outer labia, since the swelling's gone down and the fat has softened where it's not hard anymore. Those spots are really like the normal fat consistency. That's that squishiness. And with the labia minora, how it's lifted up was what was put inside combined with the fat. I'm not sure exactly how we did that because in the notes when I was reading, it didn't say specifically, but I'm thinking it was that excess erectile tissue was used to help lift that up. So yeah. And I don't have that bulge anymore like I was having, which is so much nicer. And I've been noticing that everything feels more normal and it's actually more functional than it was before. With like sexually, I feel my clitoris a lot more. It's like, yeah, the clitoris like swelling, like sexually feels that a little bit more. And I've been noticing my labia actually swell up as well sexually. And that helps a lot with my mental health. So yeah. And with how everything was constructed to fix the issues I was having, it's like seems like the functionality of it, how it's more functional, I feel it a little bit differently than before. It's like certain spots I felt before the revision, I still feel in those spots, but I feel it more like in the best way I can describe it is more mind-body connection, more of like that sensuous kind of a way. And with it, the way it's constructed, it's taken a little bit to learn how it's functioning now, but it was quick to figure things out with that mind-body connection. And it seems like the clitoris is more covered than before with the same amount of the clitoris hood, and the appearance is like a lot different, which looks normal. And that scar tissue I had is gone, where the vaginal canal meets the perineum. That's gone, that scar tissue. The only scar tissue is the spot on each side where they stuck the needle in to inject all the fat and whatnot. And the 2 spots on my tummy are almost completely healed. The left side being smaller than the right side. And I've been finding with that little bit of the urethral opening, the angle how it was shaved a little bit and changed, peeing feels more normal. If it's like before surgery it didn't feel normal, after surgery it felt normal, but now it feels even more normal. And it feels better to pee now than it did before the initial surgery. And yeah. And just the overall function, especially sexually, just feels right. It feels normal, it feels right. Nothing feels wrong anymore like it was. I feel everything a lot more so, I can say. And the other thing I've noticed is clothing fits better. Even like since the initial surgery, clothing fit better, but it fits even more better now, having all that corrected, not having that spot bulging out with my labias together the way it is now. I don't have that issue I was having before, where certain spots would feel like it got rubbed raw. That's not happening anymore, which is really good. And just all the emotions that's coming with it is taking some time to process, which is it's so worth it. If I could say anything about it, I don't regret any of it. From the appearance and the functionality, even though there's asymmetry and the right side's longer, the labia minora, than the left side, but because it's both sides are lifted and have that fat in the labia majora, even though the labia minora and labia majora on the right side isn't as like distinct separation between them, it just feels so normal and so right. And the more it heals, the more right it feels. The look, function, everything from the color, the fullness, even though I have more labia minora, which having more significant labia minora, I'm happy about that. What I was able to get, because I was told that that's good because it doesn't happen very often. That most trans women don't get a significant amount of labia minora, the inner labia. And I'm so happy I have what I have because it's helping with my dysphoria. That mind-body connection is saying how it's supposed to be, and it's the way my brain says it's supposed to be. Yeah. And it's really helping with my mental health a lot. But the emotions that's coming with it, I've been having a hard time processing it at times and accepting it. But I'm doing the best I can just because the autism, because I have autism as well. So put that together, and yeah, so just trying to accept those emotions as they come. And the times where I end up almost crying or completely crying, because that mind body connection, when it connects sexually, visually, from the touch and feel, and the way it visually looks, sexually and non sexually. So, yeah, I don't regret it. This is from my experience, and I never ever want to go back, which I'm not able to, anyways. But yeah, and being sick, I ended up losing 2 pounds. So I'm 140 when I was weighed last. So that's where my weight's at since surgery. And the whole tummy area, it was the sides right here. It was like from here to through here, that pain and that discomfort, like a razor burn on the inside. That's almost 100% gone. It's just I have a few spots. It's not too bad. And when I measured my waist, there was like no change in my waist measurement. And my breasts seem fuller. They're actually fuller as well. It's all the things I've been noticing. So yeah. So there's been a lot of good that's come from having a revision and having my hormones where it's at. So other than that, there's not much to really talk about, except I noticed the vaginal like fluids, like that moisture, the moistened skin has gone back to normal from where it was. It's pretty much almost 100% back to normal with the fluids how it was before revision. So it's all functional, and the tightness isn't there. And some people say it's too much information, but I'm able to fit 3 fingers length. It's like my finger length, like that, in my vaginal canal. And the entrance seems wider than it was. Then from my pelvis, from the side to side, I'm able to get that much in comfortably. So yeah, since revision I haven't tried anything bigger than the orange dilator, but I know I'd be able to do one size bigger from my experience from before revision. And I haven't lost depth. I'm still at the 5th dot on the dilator, which is 5.5 inches in depth. So yeah, everything's pretty much back to normal and more functional with the appearance of it. And I'm really happy with it. And I never, ever, ever want to go back to what it was. Where it's at now, I find it almost 100% perfect. There's like almost 100%, because that little bit that's left to heal. Once that spot finishes healing, then I'll be happy with 100%. I'll feel it's 100% normal once that finishes healing. But right now, it's like, feels like it's 99% there. So, yeah, just waiting for that last little bit from where the stitches were to heal. And there's not much more I could say with what's going on with that, except the look, like the appearance, function, and depth is all good. And if you look at it, you wouldn't even know that it's been constructed that way. You would just think I was born with it. That's how perfect in my eyes it looks, and how I feel about it in my body. You wouldn't even, just my body the way it is now, you couldn't even tell I'm trans. And that's a blessing that I struggled to get to, that I never want to lose, ever. Mostly because it really helps with my dysphoria more than any other time in my life. And how I just feel, it's just so much emotions with it that's hard to explain a lot of times. Because of my autism, it's kind of hard for me to explain these emotions I feel a lot of times with my body the way it is. Even though it's like happiness, and I do feel like I want to cry, and that oneness and that connection to it more so. Yeah. Other than that, there's not much more I can really say about how it's been going with the healing from the revision surgery. Just that it's pretty much perfect. And being able to do everything just any woman that's born with it can do. Helps with my dysphoria. So, yeah. On the lesbian side of things, I could say. So, yeah. Other than that, if you have any questions, please comment, and I'll do my best to answer them. So, till my next video, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and please answer questions, because the only stupid question is the one not asked. So if it's on your mind, ask. And if enough people ask the same question, I might do a video on it. And that's what I really want to do, is more videos on your questions. So please ask more questions, and I would do my best to answer in the comments and or video. So until next time. Bye.